In today's video, I'm going to talk about switching disciplines in study and going from this to this. Hey folks, it's Finn. Welcome back to my channel, everybody, and a very, very big welcome to anybody who is new. So I'm Finn, said that, and I make content under the broad heading of recover your life and rewrite your story. So I share my own story of overcoming challenges, mental health, gender transition, to help you to make changes in your own life and to live your best life. So if that sounds like something you would like and you haven't already subscribed, please do. I would love it if you would join our fabulous Finn fam. And when you do, don't forget to tick the little bell so you'll be notified whenever I upload anything new, because you don't want to miss all the regular Finn installments. So today's video is a study topic, and what I want to talk about today is my own experience of switching disciplines and going from studying psychology to studying creative writing. Bit of a leap there. So I am an Open University student, and one of the most amazing things about the OU is how flexible it is. And as many of you know who follow my journey, I was on a path studying a psychology degree, and then after a bit of a change of plan, I decided to move to an open degree. I won't go into the huge details of why and what an open degree is. I'll instead link to something up here. But just to say for now, it made sense in me moving to a career as a writer that I could still use my psychology, because the things I write about are mental health themed, but I would benefit, I thought, by having some proper formal training in creative writing and writing techniques. So I really wanted to take a module that was of benefit to my new career path. But it's required quite a leap in understanding. I love psychology. I've been studying it for years, and I've been doing really, really well in my degree. I've got high grades all the way through, and I'm on to get a first. With psychology, I was well practiced not only in the actual subject matter, but also in the style of essays that were needed to hand in. It was all rolling quite nicely, high grades all the time, set for a trajectory of a first. And then I chucked creative writing in the mix. So creative writing, as you can quite imagine, is very different. Rather than being grounded in facts, statistics, figures, theories, it's very much an art, although there are, of course, underpinning ideas in story structure and so forth. Fundamentally, the work you're handing in is creative. The critiques come in where you look at the module materials and are you employing those techniques you've learned, but the whole way of actually completing a TMA, which is a tutor marked assignment, an essay, is very different to psychology, and I've found it a real struggle. I started in October, we're now in January, and it has been one gigantic leap to get used to. It's not that I'm new to writing as such, because I've written for a long time, whether it be in my journals, privately, in my blog and so on, but it's very different when it comes to actually studying writing and using all of the structures and techniques that have been gathered over the years to help writers in their work. Learning all of that is a big leap, and again, very different from psychological theories to writing theories. So was this a good idea? Not going to lie, this was a scary leap of faith, and this is why, you have to think about these things when you do them and weigh them up, okay? And this decision for me came down to two different ways of thinking. I could have stayed with psychology, where I was getting distinctions every time and set to get a first, and finish my final module as a psychology module, where I'll be pretty much guaranteed, with the consistency of my grades so far, to come out with a first degree, which would be amazing. But switch to creative writing at level 3, straight to level 3, where I've got to learn everything from scratch. I risk my grades being lower, and then in turn bringing down the level of my degree from a first degree to a second degree. So I did think long and hard about this, and it comes down to two things. Did I want a really high degree, as in a first, with psychology, or did I want to risk ending my degree slightly lower but gaining some valuable knowledge? For me, it was a no-brainer. Of course I'm going to be gutted if my grade drops, but fundamentally I can see already just in a few months that my writing is improving, and so in this situation sacrificing a definite higher grade for a base of knowledge that's really going to help me was worthwhile. Switching to an open degree made sense because it means I've got all of that bank of psychological knowledge that will go into my book writing, and now I've got this module of creative writing which will then improve that writing. In saying all that though, I'm actually doing okay so far. I handed my first TMA in just before Christmas and I got a really good grade for that, so that was a relief. My second TMA has just gone in. Oh my word, that was a challenge. My first TMA was a short story, and then the second one I had to adapt that short story into either a radio play, a stage play, or a film script. And that was quite something to try to do, and I still don't know if I did it successfully. My grades are not back yet. However, during the process of writing this film script adaptation, I suddenly realised I was getting into the groove of this module at last. It's felt really clunky from October until even just a month ago. It was all very clunky, having to learn brand new terminology and techniques and so on, and new ways of writing and new ways of thinking. And then suddenly, midway through writing this script, I suddenly went to myself, "Here, I'm enjoying this." And in that moment, I suddenly could see how all of the techniques I'd been learning, all of the different ways of writing, that process of adapting was making me think differently about my writing, visualising differently, looking at characters differently, and I suddenly realised how much I was growing as a writer and that this decision had definitely been the right one. Despite it being a bit of a hard slog at the moment to get used to this new way of writing and learning all of this new stuff, I know I did the right thing. And actually I've had something happen now that's really confirmed that. And most folks will have seen my recent video about the fact that my lower surgery memoir has just been commissioned by Jessica Kingsley Publishers. Fab start to 2020. So this is definitely going to benefit me in the coming months as I chip away at my manuscript, edit it and polish it alongside doing this module. It's going to greatly improve my writing and be so beneficial. So I definitely did the right thing, listened to my instinct, decided to risk losing that high grade to exchange for really valuable knowledge that would benefit me in what I was doing in my life. It was the right choice. For anyone else who might be thinking about switching disciplines like this, or choosing an open degree where you do switch disciplines quite a lot, I think my words of advice would be to make sure you always do lots of background reading and preparation, because when you switch modules there is so much more to know, especially when you're going in at a higher level and you haven't been kind of walked in slowly on the lower levels. So I got a course book from a level 2 module in creative writing just to help me to kind of prepare before the module and also have something during the module to look back on to when techniques were introduced earlier so I could more easily understand them. So if you're switching around, it's really sensible to do that so that you're prepared for the switch up and the change of pace that comes from switching from one discipline to another. But I don't think there's any reason to think that you will definitely get a lower grade by switching around. I think you just have to think differently and prepare differently than you do if you're staying on the same discipline the whole way through. Just prepare beforehand. And actually I think in the long term it's more beneficial, because not only do you get a wide range of information, you also get a huge wide range of skill set from that and transferable skills from being able to switch between modules in this way and think differently, write differently and so on. So for me, the benefits definitely outweigh any disadvantages. The long and the short of it, I love this module. I'm learning so much about myself as a writer and about ways of writing. It's fascinating to look at things in a completely different way and to approach my writing in a different way, and I really do recommend this. I love the OU for this, for its flexibility, for your ability to move it around your life, to mould it to your life, to change it when your life changes. It's absolutely amazing. So very pleased that I was in the position with the OU to actually have the opportunity to take this standalone creative writing module and make it part of my degree, to get me finally graduating next year, and with 2 disciplines that hugely play a part in my future career path and work the best for me. Amazing. Well, I hope that was helpful. If you do have any comments or questions, please feel free to leave them in the section below. Always happy to answer them, and it's always really nice to have a chance to chat with you all. If you have enjoyed this video and found it helpful, I would love it if you could give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, folks. See you again next week. Bye bye.